This audiobook is distributed by Christian Audio. Please visit christianaudio.com to offer your impressions of this work and to explore additional titles.
This audio recording was produced in 2014 by Christian Audio, which owns the copyright. No portion of this recording may be reproduced for any reason without prior written consent from Christian Audio. This edition recorded by arrangement with Waterbrook Press, an imprint of Crown Publishing Group, a division of Random House, LLC. Please visit christianaudio.com, facebook.com/christianaudio, or twitter.com/christianaudio to offer your impressions of this work and to explore additional titles.
You're listening to Dr. Dan Allender, reading his new book, The Healing Path. And now, here's Dr. Allender.
Opening our arms to a day is an act of faith. Even on the days when we feel the most optimistic about the course life is taking, our confidence can be shattered by events beyond our control. A morning that begins with a cheerful whistle can be sideswiped by the droning negativity of a spouse who gets up on the wrong side of the bed. A much-anticipated vacation can be cut short by a broken leg, a stolen wallet, or the death of a loved one back home. A pleasant Sunday morning can be shot to pieces by the cool rebuff of a friend sitting in an adjacent church pew. A single split-second decision can change the course of our lives forever. I'll never forget the woman who told me about the morning that changed everything for her. She had put her son in the back seat of the car and buckled his seatbelt, got into the front seat, and then realized she had left her purse in the house. She had left the keys in the ignition but did not start the car. She ran back into the house. As she grabbed her purse, the phone rang. She hesitated but decided to answer it. The call lasted no more than 3 minutes. When she went back outside, she witnessed a horror that would change everything about her life forever. Apparently, seconds after her son was left alone in the car, he escaped from the back seat, climbed to the front seat, started the car, and put it in reverse. When he felt the movement of the car, he panicked and tried to jump out. He must have caught his coat on the car door because he was dragged under the wheels and his skull was crushed. In a matter of seconds, his young life was extinguished, and his mother's heart was shattered. 2 years after the accident, the woman was doing much better, but she still suffered waves of nausea and guilt that threatened to drown her. Her marriage was at grave risk, and she continued to take medication for depression. Her story and the sorrow embedded in her eyes shook me, but one comment in particular unnerved me. "Thank you," she said, "for letting me know it's not wrong to suffer." Everyone else wanted her to be fine, she explained. They wanted her to move on with her life. She said she used to have similar sentiments toward those who had suffered tragic losses. She hadn't understood the depth of harm they wrestled with. Now she did. Wistfully, she commented, "I simply never thought that tragedy could really, really, come to my door." Most of us are spared such life-wrenching tragedy, but none of us escapes the heartache of living in a fallen world. To live is to hurt. We barely take our first breath, and a wail is the first sound we utter. 70 years later, if we're lucky, our exit is with a moan or a whimper, a last breath reminiscent of the first cry. Negative? A downer? Unnecessarily pessimistic? Surely life is not that bad for most people. Of course we know suffering will visit us sometimes, but we don't want to think about it. What is the point of contemplating something that is out of our control? If we could prevent it, then we might briefly consider our stance toward suffering. But why bother when God causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous? We're all going to get our share of joy and sorrow, so let's just get on with our lives and hope for the best. The problem with this position is that once the inevitable pain comes, it is too late to consider how we will allow ourselves to be shaped by it. If we fail to thoroughly anticipate how we will respond to the harm of living in a fallen world, the pain may be for naught. It will either numb or destroy us rather than refine and even bless us. Suffering need not destroy the heart. It has the potential to lead to life. But very few people I know suffer deeply and profit. Instead, pain is seldom expected nor embraced when it comes. It is often denied or swept under the spiritual rug of God's sovereignty. The Apostle Paul tells us that as we groan inwardly, we wait eagerly for our final redemption. But few of us enter the tragedy of living in a fallen world and simultaneously struggle with God until our heart bleeds with hope. We either give in to the pain with a hopeless cynicism, or we settle for an artificial resolution
Sample complete. Ready to continue?